We continue learning Kitzur Yomi, and we pick it up. We're up to the 10th chapter, the 10th Siman in Kitzur. And the 10th Siman is the halachos of Tefillin. Says the Kitzur, actually, before you even begin, the Kitzur article does an absolutely beautiful job over here, laying out what is going to happen in our Siman. Says the Kitzur. The little Akdam over here, we begin with the Psukim and Devarim that teach us you need to put tefillin on your arm and beineinech. And we know that what are tefillin? We have the tefillin Shel Rosh and the tefillin Shel Yad. And we have the four parashiyos in the tefillin Kadesh Levi Kiviyach Shema Yisrael Vayim Shemaya. And this detail, maybe the one detail maybe everyone did not know. Tefillin Shel Yad has one box in it with all four parashiyos written on one long parchment. Whereas the tefillin Shel Rosh, of course, has individualized boxes, as you can see on your tefillin themselves, and on each parsha is written on its own piece of parchment. Says the Kitzur, mitzvah tefillin gamkin mitzvah yikara me'oid is also, what's also? We just came off a mitzvah of tzitzis, which we said how incredibly important and precious the mitzvah is. Says the Kitzur, tefillin as well as mitzvah yikara hi me'oid. Aruch is ukash is equated with tefillin shenemar l'manti Torah Hashem b'ficha. And when you wear tefillin, it's a reminder of Hashem's greatness. That He took us out of Mitzrayim. An incredible line, says the Kitzur. If someone doesn't wear tefillin, it's not just that he missed out on a mitzvah. He's rebelling against the Torah with his body. It's a body mitzvah that's lacking. Says the Kitzur, Misha miniach tefillin psulin. Someone puts on tefillin which apostle lo bavachin mekayim is a mitzvah. Not only is he not mekayim the mitzvah, shvar kama brachas levatala, shu avoin gadol, which is a terrible sin to make brachas levatala. Therefore, you dakti lignot tefillin b'sefer momuch avyer shemayim. Critically important when you buy your tefillin, you want to make sure the sefer is a moncha shemayim. Nowadays, they have a tudah, they have a certificate proving that they know what's going on. V'chein ritzuais. Which one is clear, and it's abed l'shma, that is tan l'shma, may oiris tyrus in the right animals. And of course, we know how many scandals, unfortunately, there have been, people selling fake ritzuos, etc. An important detail to keep in mind, when you go buy it, you ask, and you make sure that he has the appropriate certification, etc. Rabbi Nasinu Rabbi ready Bisman Kitzur, he speaks out. Rabbi Machshela, the pitfall is great. People just buy from anyone. Because it's cheap. Which burn their heart. By your clothing, your belongings. No one would buy a car if no one knew who made it. You make sure it's in good condition. You buy clothing. You make sure it's something normal. It's not the time to save money. Even if they cost a lot of money. One should take care that the bottom, the Ritzuos, are always completely black. Something important, when you look at your Ritzuos, sometimes by the knot of tefillin Shel Yad, sometimes in other areas, that's be completely black. And if not, of course, you're able to paint it, but something important to keep in mind. V'yeshlam shachar Ritzuos tadir v'shuman, shpafanan them often, shein chorm, which are black, v'loyim mashchem Hashem and dargin ikra pishtaran, ki dag tameh. And of course, they sell different types of paint, different types of markers. Again, you make sure to buy something with kashrus in order to paint your tefillin. V'im this calcul tefillin, if your tefillin were damaged, I feel like b'mitzvah, so shnifsku atfirais, the stitches were cut. Yasem miyad she'las chacham, you should ask someone. Im heim kshirim ubi yosi yish l'daktek. One should be very careful. Al kronos on the corners of the batim ubafrat Shel Rosh shushchiach ma'oish amishtachakois. They get worn out. V'nasa sham nekavim. They have holes upsulim. They could get nicked and they could get pointy. One has to keep care with this. It's very common. As tefillin get older, nifrak sas mea ara elyon Shel Rosh. Shel Rosh separates a little bit. Very careful. V'chol hazoyer b'mitzvahs tefillin. Learning them kedusha, you treat them appropriately. Shalotavrim dvarim b'tefillim. V'sichas chulin, you don't talk with them. Mundane matters. Marich yomim, we are promised by the Kitzur long life. U'muftach shu ben olam haba shenemar. The pasuk in Yeshaya, Doinai aleim, the Lord is upon them. Shenoisim aleim shem Hashem b'tefillin. They carry the Shem Hashem in their tefillin yechu. They will live. L'chol behen chayi ruach. Anyone who has them a spirit of life, that you wear the tefillin keneged your life. V'salachlameni v'achayeni, you'll strengthen me and you'll cause me to live. We see the bracha of Arichas Yom. Tefillin hi lashon plila v'yichacha. Where does the word tefillin come from? It comes from the word polal, pei lamed lamed, which is a raya, a proof. The lamed digusha, the lamed of tefillin has a dagesh, lamalos chesron hashniya, to make up for the second lamed, which is the polel, right? Because tefillin is not pei lamed lamed, it's just pei lamed. So the Kitzur teaches us that when the lamed has a dot in it, a dagesh, it's as if it's a double lamed, pei lamed lamed. What's the proof of tefillin? It's an eidos and a chacha shashchina shara alev, that the shchina is upon us. K'moshamar akasav barok lami aretz kishem Hashem nikra alecha. But the shir Rabbi Zeinus Echon leVaracha elu tefillin shel Rosh sheish b'hem shem Hashem shakai. They have the shin for the name shakai u'lachein ein lechasos tefillin shel Rosh ligami. You should never cover up your tefillin ligamri imatalis, because that is the Shem Hashem. And you just quote to the bottom of the Mishnah Berurah, lamaisa, if someone has, he's still yoytei the mitzvah. So after learning the incredible maila and the utmost care that one must have, says the Kitzur, Zman hanocha son baboiker. When do you put on tefillin in the morning? When you see a person who one is a little bit acquainted with, barachak arba amos, v'yakirenu, and you can recognize him. This is the Zman of Misha Yakir. On the bottom in note 17, they point out this is either 40 or 60 minutes before the Zman of sunrise. And it also points out that you could theoretically daven earlier, you just can't put on your tefillin then. The mitzvah of tzitzis is before tefillin. Why? Mishum the mitzvah tzitzis tedira yaiser is bar kamen. Shenegis be mechabim mishavs yamtiv your tzitzis always. But tzitzil ain't no negis el bachal. We only put a tefillin during the week. We kaim lan tadir shino tadir kaidem. That's why the talis comes first. However, and this is very important, the way you set up your talis and tefillin bag. V'im pagat chalet tefillah. V'im pagat chalet tchila b'tefillin. If you first touch your tefillin, afal pi sheim b'toich kisan, even though they're still in their pouch. You have to put them on first. So sometimes a person takes out his talis and he puts it on the table, and then he picks up his tefillin. So right now you have a problem, because right now what are you holding? Just your tefillin, even though they're in their pouch. Says the Kitzur explicitly, you have to put on your tefillin first, and then your talis. Why? Mishom the ein mavirin ala mitzvahs. You're not allowed to pass over a mitzvah. And when you're holding your tefillin, the tefillin is considered in your hands. It's considered the mitzvah. It's there. It's a mitzvah. It's karibeis a mitzvah. It's not shvartim. It's a matzos. Mitzvah shabali yadcha al tachmitzena. Don't let it turn into chametz. Therefore, you're not allowed to put down the mitzvah. Now, firstly, note 19 points out very nicely, if you don't plan on putting in your tefillin right now, only your talis, then that's not the case. It's only if you plan on putting in your tefillin. Next, in note number 20, points out that even if you just pass your hand over them, then that is as well. People sometimes ask, no, but it's still in the bag. The Kitzur said explicitly, even if it's still in the bag, it's called coming to your hand, that it's right in front of you. So care must be taken that you want to touch your towels first, put on your towels first, because of tadir v'she'enai tadir. We continue and conclude with Siv Gimel Ksevaya Lois al Yodcha. Parsha Yikaviyach. V'chsev Yodcha behei. Says Yodcha with a hey. Darshu Rabbi Zeinus Echon leVaracha tanu yad keha. Your weak arms, who small shitasha kecha. This is your left hand, which is your weaker arm, and we're going to get to if you are a lefty. In a place that the flesh is higher. And we'll show the picture in a minute. Therefore, you put the tefillin there. You tilt it slightly towards the body. When you put your hand down, Tia keneged liba, it should be opposite your heart. V'hodach sev b'tefillin Shel Rosh. And let's see, sorry, before we go into Tefillin Shel Rosh, let's just show the picture. Shows you over here that here's your arm, that you want it to be half of the bone, and you want it to be on the top of the muscle over here. That is the correct placement of the Tefillin Shel Yad. Now we go into Vadach Sev Tefillin Shel Rosh Bein Einecha. Kibler Rav Zin Zechron Avach Sheina Zois Bein Einecha Mamish doesn't mean between your eyes. Ele Keneged Bein Einecha, direct line up between your eyes. And at a height, where the hair begins to grow on the forehead, and he goes upward. I'd say till the point where the soft part of it, a baby's head, the front edge of the titura, which you'll see what that is, it's a part of the tefillin, should not be lower from the place where the hair begins to grow. On the back edge should not be higher, the place that the tinuk's head is soft. Here you see is a tefillin, and here's the titura is on the side, and the mabarta is on the back, and that's what we're saying, that the mabarta can't be behind to the place where the baby's head gets soft, and the tefillin, the titura, can't be in the front, closer than one's hairline. Says the kids, you have to be very careful you tefillin in the right place. A little bit on your forehead. If it falls down, it's on your hair, it's off to the side, it's not between your eyes. So the reason to be very careful is not only you're not doing the mitzvah, it's a brach levatala. Kesher, and then out of the Shel Rosh, she placed on the head opposite the Shel Rosh, in the back of your head, on the upper part of your skull, right over that indentation. She's difficult goalies, the end of the skull, Seyar, where there's the hair grow, should connect it upon him. Should not tilt to any side. Should snugly on one head. The bayis are wide. It's difficult to fill Shel Rosh on properly. You have to be careful, of course. This is the way that they make tefillin appropriately, but that is the appropriate placement that one has to be careful about his tefillin. Again, maybe we'll do a demonstration in a separate video, but we have in the tefillin Shel Yad, it's going to be slightly tilted, so when you put your hand down, it faces your lave. Tefillin Shel Rosh, right from your hairline and up. We'll pick it up from here. B'siyata v'shmaya.